New video review, and tonight it is Mean Creek. There's a lot to say about this movie. There's a lot, but the biggest thing, the absolute biggest thing, and I mentioned this a lot in the written review, the acting. The acting is fantastic. And you can't go into a movie where the entire cast is young adults and kids and expect the acting to be good. You can expect it to be like decent, but you can't expect it to be good or fantastic. Like it's not gonna happen. I've been lucky enough to review 2 movies in the past 3 days that have had phenomenal child actors. The Road and Mean Creek. The actors carry the story, and the story is fantastic, but the actors carry it. You see typical bullied versus bully, and bully gets what he deserves. That's like the typical thing. Not in this movie, because instead of demonizing the bully, instead of demonizing George, who's played by Josh Peck, he's humanized in such a way that you can't hate him. And it's one of those things. It's just like in real life. If you were to get to know somebody as well as you possibly could, you couldn't hate them because you could see the good within them and the bad. But you could take it and you could say, but they're good over here too. And it does that. And a lot of movies don't do that. I mean, the majority of them don't. They want you to have the bad guy and they want you to be angry, the bad guy, and all that. Bad guy, kill him! That's how you're supposed to feel, right? Not in this one. This one, every character is human. Even the one who in the end is the asshole is human. And you can see it and you can feel it, and it's because of the acting and the writing and the storytelling. The plot moves so smoothly. That might be partly because the director also wrote it. Personally, I think that's what should always happen. The director should write it and the writer should direct it. That's how it should be, because both components are of the same nature. They're trying to create the same thing. They have a vision of what's supposed to happen. They are both the same person. The vision comes out exactly the way that everyone in charge sees it. And that's one great thing about independent films, is that's how it is oftentimes. The writer writes the screenplay and then the writer directs it. And this was a debut. This movie was a directorial debut. This was the first movie this guy ever directed and wrote. And in reality, is if this movie would have gotten the recognition that it deserved, there would have been Oscars, there would have been Academy Awards, it would have been praised. I would be talking to you about a film that you would know simply because of how good it is. It would just be common knowledge, like Forrest Gump. You would just know what it is. Whether you'd seen it or not, you would just know, because that's the kind of movie it is. But it was not recognized the way that it should have been recognized. It was given no recognition outside of the independent film community, which isn't bad until the movie is as damn good as this one. And then it's bad because I'm pissed it took me this long to see this movie. That's the fact of the matter is, if you just want to see it because Josh Peck loses his mind and C word and faggots and just slurs of so many things that
don't bother me because I'm desensitized. I'm a robot when it comes to swear words.
To your average viewer who's doesn't use the F word in normal conversation, it's a little much. But it's so weird to see Josh Peck do that and do it so well. The last 30 minutes of this movie are really difficult to get through because you see the results of the climax. In a lot of movies that doesn't happen. I mean, it's just a little bit of backstory, they got married, that's it. But in this one, you see the full calamity of the climax, and you get to see how the characters react to it. And you get to see how this 13-year-old boy and 13-year-old girl react to this kind of situation, and you get to see people who they have no idea what to do, but they want to do the right thing, but they just don't know. It dives into the human psyche, and it's crazy, and it's so good. It doesn't matter who you are, what kind of movies you like. I mean, I don't care, honestly. If you don't like rated R movies, I'm sorry, but you need to see this one. If you like action movies, sit down and take the time to watch this one. If you like horror movies, sit down and watch this movie. Because it is just that good. If you appreciate movies, it is that good. See this movie. See it. That's the review.